what Mazen Nnamdi is doing. Yesterday, we saw his appearance in the court. And as always, he cautioned the Zoological Republic media on their evil agenda and their behaviors, which every one of us know about. The attitude of the media is not strange. They have done it over and over and over again. But at this point in time, we have succeeded in taking over everywhere, including the Zoo media. With the protest that was led by Showore, every game have changed. It is not just about Biafra anymore. It is not just about Mazen Nnamdi anymore. It is about humanity. It is about humanity. That is what it is about now. We are talking about justice for all. That is what it's all about. We are talking about justice for all. I thank Chukwu Okukama that at this point in time, many people who are ignorant are beginning to wake up from their idiocy. Because we know that many Nigerians are very, very ignorant. Ignorant in what they confess and what they preach. So many of them do not even understand what they are preaching. They don't understand what they are talking about. It is sad. But the case of Mazen Nnamdi have made it clear, have granted free of charge education to every indigenous person in Nigeria. And I thank God that they are learning and learning very fast. I thank Chukwu Okukabiyama, they are learning and learning very fast. As for their media, these people are unrepentant. That is why Mazen Nnamdi called them out again yesterday.
Study news. You don't know what law is. You don't know what justice is. Where's the news agencies of Nigeria? What are they? You don't know that God is a God of justice. You don't know that?
They don't know.
That God in heaven is a God of justice. You don't know that?
You see, Mazen Nnamdi, he was searching for the media of Nigeria to speak to them face to face. And he invoked the God of justice in the court yesterday. That statement was an invocation. In case you don't know, Mazen Nnamdi invoked the God of justice. And I bet you the God of justice is never silent. The God of justice can never, have never, will never be silent to that call yesterday. We are not stopping. We have just started. And as we speak, that same yesterday, Aloy Ejimako, Omoyele Showore, and the 15 others were released yesterday. They were all released, and we are happy for that. And we hope to continue from where we stopped. Yesterday, while we waited, I was even expecting that they are going to be out before the end of the case of Mazen Nnamdi. But eventually, you know, Nigerian Zoological Republic, they will always try to keep you for as long as they can. That is how they operate. They will try to keep you as long as they can. And that was what we saw yesterday. Instead of them
freedom come, I struggle, freedom come. Freedom come, I struggle, freedom come. Is a leader, Suwe. Discipline is illegal to wear. Who is a criminal? Who is a criminal to wear? You are a leader. You are a leader. You are a leader. You are a Nnamdi Kanu now! Free 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 Nnamdi Kanu now!
Illegal, unjust, unwarranted, and inhuman detention by the Bola Ahmed Tinubu regime, orchestrated by his illegal IGP Kayode Egbetokun. And we are heading home, hopefully. In fact, I was supposed to be heading to Lagos for a protest for tomorrow. But we are still checking on the flight, if there's any flight tonight.
But have you seen the warning from the Lagos State government?
You know, they can warn themselves, they can't warn me. You can't warn me about my rights.
Yes.
They are the ones who have to warn themselves about their responsibilities. So it wasn't going to stop me. It is not the first time people who are paid to protect have become very likely irresponsible and warning people not to exercise their rights. So you can't warn me about my rights.
Okay, now in the build up to the protest, the police had actually issued a warning and they said you contravened that warning by entering into the restricted zone, which was why the lawyer of Nnamdi Kanu was also arrested.
The lawyer of Nnamdi Kanu is here, but before he speaks, I'm not a lawyer, but what I know is that if a court gives an order and there's a contravention of that order, you go back to the same court to complain to the judge. It's not the job of police to take it upon itself to be enforcing court orders that it had interest in. But even if they don't have interest in it, there was a court order issued by a judge saying don't go to certain areas. If you want to review the order, you go back to the court. If you want to complain that the orders were violated, you go back to the court. Absolutely. So the police, being an irresponsible organization in Nigeria, took laws into its hand. And I can guarantee you that those court orders were never served on us. If you look at the Schedule 3 of the court order, it says serve them by Friday. So no court order was served on us. But assuming it was served on us, even our courts understand that there are certain areas or boundaries you cannot cross when it comes to fundamental human rights.
Okay, so what's your word to, in terms of the justice system, seeing what played out when you were beaten and manhandled in the court?
It's not the first time they will do that. You must have seen a plethora of police attacks on me. Since 1992, some of the police who attacked me had to fight for their retirement benefits a few weeks ago. So it's to also tell the police that are doing it now that they will soon meet their Waterloo. There's no question about that. But most importantly, our goal is to fix the country. We can't be going after small issues, including individuals. The country we want to fix, that's what is on our plate, not this individual police. I cannot be banding words, for instance, with the police PRO, who I know doesn't know his left from his right. I can't be banding words with the IGP. It's no longer in the police force. And you cannot be IGP if you are not in the police force. And they understand it. That's why they lose their mind. So I have been through about 7 presidents in my lifetime since probably more now, since 1992. Several police IGPs, and some of them I've had to help in the course of. Some of them I had to assist where they were even still serving.
Yes.
So these are not issues that bothers me a lot. Anybody who is doing what we do knows that your second vacation home is prison.
The service chiefs, I need you to comment on that.
The service chiefs, let me tell you, I was the first to complain about that one who says he wanted to fence Nigeria, Musa. That one doesn't know his left from his right, but he's still even better than Ebetokun. Ebetokun should have been fired if Tinubu were to be serious. But, you know, I'm not an advisor to the president, and I particularly don't care what Tinubu does with his illegitimate regime, honestly. So
Barrister Aloy, please, we would like you to share your experience, considering the fact that we're actually living in denial, thinking you'll be released on the day you were arrested. And what has this experience actually taught you?
Well, this experience is traumatic. Speaking honestly, it's traumatic for me. It's traumatic for my colleagues, everybody. If you say it isn't, then you are in denial. Traumatic in the sense of the manner of the arrest. It was very brutal, too confrontational. People who were cooperating with the police were being shoved around, being beaten up, and some of them sustained injuries. Tear gas canisters were deployed directly at most of us. Two had impact on me, and in fact, if we didn't have strong lungs, some of us would have given up the ghost on the spot. I don't think that type of brutality has a place in a well-ordered modern society. This is the type of thing that we need to do away with in Nigeria. Even at the police headquarters, CID, Gariki, the command, they deployed canisters, several canisters of tear gas just to get us to bundle us into vehicles that will take us to abattoir. You didn't need to do that because we were already under your control. So that's something that is abhorrible and should be condemned by all and sundry. It is not good. It's unlawful. It's brigandage, and it is executive rascality in high places.
While you were in detention, Nnamdi Kanu actually let go of his defense team. Now, we are starting to hear that he is saying there is no case submission on this. What is your take, considering the fact that, okay, you are also among those defending, and this even led you to be sent to the
Well, the protest was directed, let me make this clear, the protest was directed against the presidency, not against the judiciary. You know, there are things that come first. If the presidency or the executive branch of government does not put you up for trial, no court has the authority to initiate prosecution against you. So it's a question of where to place the blame. I've noticed a lot of understanding as if we are protesting against the court. No, the court didn't initiate it. The presidency did. The attorney general did. So if the presidency or the executive branch says Nnamdi Kanu's case should no longer be prosecuted, the court will have nothing to try.
Exactly.
This is our point. So those people saying, Nnamdi Kanu is on trial and we are interfering with judiciary, contempt of law, blah, blah, blah. No, come on. That's complete misunderstanding of the situation.
Yes.
It is Tinubu we wanted to talk to. You don't have any business prosecuting a man that has done nothing wrong.
Yes.
And a man you brought into the country under situation that offended humanity, international law, and even Nigerian law.
Yes.
You don't have a business putting him up for trial. So withdraw. Under section 174, I think, of the Constitution, he can direct the Attorney General to do a nolle prosequi. It was done for sure here, right? It has been done in history for a whole lot of people. The presidency or the executive branch or the attorney can say, we are no longer interested in the case, and that's the end of it. That was the purpose of the protest.
Yes.
And I was the organizer, by the way.
He initiated it.
Yes.
Okay, Barrister Kingdom. In all of this drama that played out, I think about 5 days back, what's your own stance?
Well, my own arrest is so dramatic. My own is a situation where IT himself has become a terrorist and you know they say power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Because this regime was illegally, the Police Act was illegally amended, and to have him as an absolute IG. That is why you see him exercising absolute power. You know, so I was arrested while I was addressing the media. You know, I was live on News Central and Arise Television and a couple of other media organizations, and I was addressing the media with respect to the protest and the reason why in Nigeria I think that there should be justice for all of us, all Nigerians, no matter where you come from, whether you are Igbo man, you are Yoruba man, you are Hausa man, and was very vocal, and I was very point blank to say that Nnamdi Kanu was being held because he's an Igbo man.
Now you have heard it. This was the briefing that came from those who were released yesterday. You can see Omoyole Sowore spoke there, the convener of the Free Mazen Nnamdi Kanu protest. You heard from Lawyer Jimako, the special counsel of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, and some other people who were still there in that very thing. You see what transpired. When we talk about Nigeria being a terrorist country, it is a truth. Just like the video of the son of Fela that I played yesterday, in that very place, he said that if there are any kidnapper in Nigeria, the people who are kidnapping Nigerian people is the government itself. They are the #1 kidnappers. And they kidnap and they collect ransom and all that. They do it in their own. They don't call it ransom, they call it a bail. See, all these things we are saying is just, I just thank God for this protest of Sowore because it's revealing a lot of things. It revealed a lot of things. A lot of issues are now open, and some Biafrans and Nigerians are now beginning to understand better. People are now beginning to understand better. And I really like the resilience of Sowore. You can see, even after coming out from that detention, he is traveling to Lagos for another protest. That is what we call activism. Not all these ones that are content creators. They create content creators and they come to claim to be activists. Content creators who are busy talking about irrelevant issues, attacking fellow citizens, and instead of them focusing on the government itself, they focus on their fellow citizens. It's a very shameful thing, but that is what we have seen every now and again in that very zoological republic. But wherever you are watching us from, I want you to understand that this struggle has just begun. It is not ending. It has just begun. And you must tighten up your belt. If Sowore could come out from detention and right there in the interview, he's looking for the next flight to go to Lagos and protest for the destruction of people's building in Lagos State, you should know that he's not joking. It is not about, he doesn't even care about his life anymore. He doesn't care about anything. All he wants is justice for all. And that is what human rights activism is all about. Now those who tomorrow you are an activist, the next day they give you an appointment, you look at, including those who call themselves Reverend Fathers. You see some of them. Once they are given an appointment by the federal government, they start talking rubbish. They start talking nonsense. So many of them. You see people today, they are talking about Biafra. The next minute they see money in their account, they are talking rubbish. If you are an activist, you believe in something, you must believe in it based on your own conviction. It must be based on your own conviction, not because your brother said or because your sister said. Whatever, you do something based on your own conviction. Don't do it because of my own word or what. Try to find your own conviction to do what you are doing. And this is also in this Biafra struggle that we are. So many of us are sheepishly doing what we are doing because we are not convinced about it. You are only doing it because your friend is doing it, because your brother is doing it, because your sister, your town man is doing it, because your fellow man is doing it. That is why you are doing it, not because you have a conviction. If you are called in a debate to defend what you are doing, so many of us cannot even defend why we are asking for Biafra. So many of us cannot stand a debate to defend why you are bent on doing what we are doing in this very Biafra struggle. It is a shame, a very shameful thing. And it applies to everything you do in life. Have your own conviction yourself as a human being. When you have your own conviction on what you are doing, nobody's going to bully you or tell you what to do or what to do. No. Nobody's going to bully you. If you have your conviction, you should be able to stand and defend whatever you do. That is why in this platform, I like to allow people to come out, speak their mind, and defend what they believe in. Then the Biafran people will listen to you and see where you are coming from. Either you are one of those who is following sheepishly, or you know what you are doing, or you are actually trying to establish a fact, or maybe because of what you know. We give you that benefit of that. It is important that everybody focus and do what we have to do. We have seen the case of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, what happened yesterday. In the video of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu I played before I continue. I don't know whether if some of you listen to those videos when I'm playing it. I don't know. If you follow me when I start my program and you listen to the message of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu I played, you will hear where Mazen Nnamdi Kanu said, if not that Chukwu Okukabiyama gave him the assignment, this very assignment of the nation of Biafra, he would drop it. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said, if not that Chukwu Okike Abịama appointed him for this very assignment, he would have left it long ago. And that is what conviction is all about. Once you are convinced about a project, that this is what you are born for, this is what you are doing, this is why you are doing, and this is what you must do, no human being on the planet Earth will distract you from it. That is why it is impossible, it is nice and important that you define Biafra for yourself. Define this Biafra, this Biafran cause that we are all shouting and talking and jumping up and down. Define it for yourself. Define it. Try to find out by yourself why you must pursue the cause of Biafra. It is only when you have that deep meaning, discover that deep meaning by yourself, for yourself, and all by yourself on yourself. That is when you can be able to stand out and take a decision that is going to affect a positive change in the cause of this Biafra. Not to come and make noise because people are making noise. Not because you want to show your face on camera. You just come and talk. Or because you want popularity. Because you want people to praise you. Because you're looking for one thing or the other. Define it for yourself. Until when you do that, you have not started. In that message, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said, if not that Chukwu Okike Abịama assigned me for this, because of the way the black people reason, because of the way the black, more especially our Igbo people, the way some of us reason, the way we behave, if not that Chukwu Okike Abịama appointed him, that he would have left us for the Janjaweed to show us shege. He would have forgotten about it. Go stay in London and enjoy himself with his family. Take his kingship as a king, and take the salary as the other people are taking salary and enjoy himself. But because he has a personal conviction on the assignment given to him by Chukwu, that is why he's still standing and going on. My fellow Biafrans, sons and daughters of Biafra, sons and daughters of truth and freedom across the world, today we stand at a turning point in our struggle. Yesterday, court sitting in Abuja was not just another legal session. It was a historic declaration of defiance and faith in justice. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the fearless leader of indigenous people of Biafra, made a move that has shaken the corridors of power. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu yesterday made a move that shook the corridors of power. He entered a no-case submission. And when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu entered that, the media was on fire. Everywhere was burning. And remember, before he entered, as he was stepping in, he requested for the media. Because we know Nigerian media is evil. Just like the same way an outsider who was called in Nigeria to come and make false findings warned them. He warned them, do not change my statement. Do not change my statement. Make sure you report what I said. In the same manner, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu yesterday came in and he was warning them, looking for them, searching for them. Yesterday was another powerful one. The move that step that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu took is to shake the corridors of power. They couldn't believe it. Up to this minute as we speak, it is still being debated in the media. Experts are coming in, talking and talking and talking from all sides of their mouth. Many people are blabbing. Some are in support, some are attacking, some are trying to bully. But I bet you, when Chukwu Okike have chosen a man, there is nothing you can do. And when you see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in court, invoke the God of justice. Invoke the God of justice. If you are a human being with conscience, you should beware what you say in the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, or what you do in this case. My fellow Biafrans, this very morning, we are going to talk. Feel free to join us and express yourself on what has just transpired. We will try as much as possible to uncover why this bold legal step was taken by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu Why did he take that bold step? We will try to look into the hidden implication of his freedom and for Biafra liberation. The message is sent to Nigeria, the international community, and every oppressed nation on earth. I want you to hang on with me. It is a discussion section. Share this broadcast to all platforms, share to family and friends. Click like. If you have not shared, share it. Let us come and discuss so that people, those of them who will gossip at last, those who are very good in gossiping, should come out here, bring their superior argument. Bring that your superior argument here. Because truth must echo louder than tyranny. Truth must always echo louder than tyranny. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter how they do it. It doesn't matter their propaganda and blackmail. We are not moved, and we will never be moved. Before we dive deep, let's understand what a no-case submission means. When you say no-case submission, we must have understand what a no-case submission means. In legal terms, a no-case submission means the defendant tells the court, the prosecution has not proven any case against me. There is nothing to answer for. When you hear no case submission, we must have to understand what it means in legal terms. Explain it so that when you want to comment, when you want to debate, when you want to speak, you will know where you are speaking from. So, a no case submission means in legal terms, no case submission means the defendant tells the court, the prosecution has not proven any case against me. There is nothing to answer for. That's what Nnamdi Kanu said. There is nothing to answer for. And you will say, why? Wouldn't there be something to answer? It is a bold legal declaration that says, even if everything they allege is true, it still doesn't amount to a crime under the law. Did you hear that? It's a bold legal declaration that says, even if everything they allege is true, it still doesn't amount to a crime under the law. These interpretations are very important so that when you see people talking or you're contributing or you're looking at it or you want to offer your own idea, you will understand what you are saying. And when Nnamdi Kanu made this statement, he has every right. And there are numerous evidence to support this. And this is where we have all stood. From day one, including our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. Even in the video I played now, he just said it, that Nnamdi Kanu has no case to answer because he has not committed any crime known to law. We have been saying it. Our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon, have said it over and over from day one. He said it, that Nnamdi Kanu have not committed any crime, but the government, in their own wickedness and in their own cunning power, they can hold him for as long as they can, cunningly. But in terms of the law, Nnamdi Kanu has not in any way disobeyed the law. There's nothing to hold him. In fact, the one that can explain it further is the judgment of the appeal court of the same Zoological Republic, their own appeal court. The judgment that comes there says that no court in Nigeria has the right to try Nnamdi Kanu in their court. That is what the appeal court said. Because of the extraordinary rendition of Nnamdi Kanu, Nigeria does not have any law to try anybody on extraordinary rendition. Get it clear. Nigeria does not have any law to try anybody in extraordinary rendition. And if you do that, the law says you are a terrorist. That is what Nigerian law says. So these things are bare fact that they continue to run away from. It's just like this case of Showore that just happened. You saw Showore still repeated it, that even though there was a court order, the court order said, serve them on Friday. Serve them, make sure the court order reaches them on that Friday. So if the court order fails to reach them on Saturday, it becomes null and void. But you see, Nigerian government and their criminal media, they choose to take those ones that certify their evil agenda. And they only talk about violation of the law, court order, court order. None of them is asking the question, did they serve the court order to the people who were required to be served? Nobody asked that question. Nobody was asking that question. Were they served? Were they served? The court said, serve them. That's the constitution. Serve them. Were they served? They were not served. But they ignore it. The same thing in the case of Nnamdi Kanu. The Nigerian law does not cover extraordinary rendition. There is no law to try anybody under extraordinary rendition. And that alone ends the case of Nnamdi Kanu. That was why appeal court said that it cannot be tried. That is why appeal court quashed everything. And today, you brought Nnamdi Kanu back to tell him to now defend himself on what? On what in particular is he going to defend himself? On what? When your law have said that he has not committed any crime. In fact, you don't have any law to try him. So upon what are you basing your law? Upon what? The law of Nigeria said you cannot do that. You know, when these things are not explained, some people will get scared. Some people will say, Nnamdi Kanu knows what he's doing. And he has the master stroke. And whatever step he takes, he knows what he's doing. The very first step he took was to remind them that he knows what he's doing. And how did he do that? He did that by calling every single one of them that is a terrorist in Nigeria to prove to people, to the world, that Nigeria itself is a terrorist organization, confirming what a court in Canada have said. Nnamdi Kanu confirmed the verdict of the court of Canada by mentioning the name of top officials of the government that supported terrorism, that acted in a terrorist manner, that participated fully, actively in terrorism. Proven with evidence, video evidence, picture evidence, audio evidence, they are all there. Nnamdi Kanu, first of all, drag all of them into the case. And when the media blew it and they called their names out, Nnamdi Kanu retreat. Not that he doesn't know what he's doing, to let them realize, I have no case to answer. You are the one that has a case. If you have a case, face it. Go and face your case. And he has just mentioned names of the people that Nigeria is supposed to prosecute, not him. That was indirectly telling Nigeria, focus on your own people. Focus on people who, the agents you are using to commit illegality. The agents you are using to commit terrorism. Focus on them and not me. Nnamdi Kanu. And he entered no case submission. The God of justice is not sleeping. We never sleep. Not in the case of Nnamdi Kanu. He will never sleep. So when Nnamdi Kanu entered that plea, he wasn't dodging trial. You know, some of them go to their media. Some of them say he's dodging trial. Oh, Nnamdi Kanu doesn't want his case to be tried. He's running away from the case. He doesn't want to. You are an idiot. If you say that, you are an idiot. Go to their media. That is one thing that some of their media is saying, that Nnamdi Kanu is dodging trial. Nnamdi Kanu is delaying the trial. Nnamdi Kanu doesn't want to be tried. If you join them to say that, you are an idiot. When Nnamdi Kanu entered that very plea, he wasn't dodging trial. He was challenging the legality, the logic, the morality of the entire process. Do you understand that? What Nnamdi Kanu was doing was challenging the legality, the logic, and the morality of the entire process. Get it and get it clear. He is saying, you abducted me illegally from Kenya. You tortured me. You broke my international law. You have no jurisdiction. And after all your noise, you have no evidence. This is simple. I want you to hear it again. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu just said in that simple no case submission, it means you abducted me illegally from Kenya. You tortured me. You broke international law. You have no jurisdiction. And after all your noise, you have no evidence. This is a strategic, intelligent, legal strike, not a retreat. This is a strategic, intelligent, legal strike, not a retreat. Very intelligent legal strike, not a retreat. But go to their media and hear what they're saying. Some idiots are there blabbing and talking from many sides of their mouth. Some are saying he doesn't want to stand trial. Some are saying he's afraid. Some are saying he doesn't know how dangerous the movie is. This is going to affect him. It's not going to become away for him. Thank you for your concern. Thank you. But what you don't know is bigger than you. What you don't know is bigger than you. In this very program, we're going to talk about 4 major reasons behind this very move that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu made. There are 4 major reasons. 4 major reasons we can be able to point out. There might be other reasons. But these are 4 major reasons I can be able to point out why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu took this decision. There might be many other reasons within him. But I'm going to point out these 4 major reasons why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu took the decision he took. The case has collapsed. After years of illegal detention, extraordinary rendition, and endless adjournments, the Nigerian prosecution failed to present solid evidence that ties Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to any crime. Did you hear me? After years of illegal detention, extraordinary rendition, and endless adjournments, the Nigerian prosecution failed to present solid evidence that ties Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to any single crime. They have shouted treason. From treason, they jumped it, they entered into terrorism. From terrorism, they entered into incitement. But where are the proofs? None exist anywhere. There's no proof anywhere that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu participated in any terrorist activities. Nobody has seen him, not even a penknife. From the time he was detained in 2015 till date, there is no evidence anywhere that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was planning anything with anybody. He was only broadcasting, speaking to Biafran people and pointing out the shortcomings of the Zolka Republic and educating Biafrans on the need for freedom. Preaching self-determination, which is a right. Self-determination is a right, not a privilege. A right for every human being on the planet Earth, supported by international law, supported by African peoples and human rights law. Even Nigerian law itself supports self-determination. So this is one of the major reasons behind the move. This is one of the major reasons. After they have shouted all treason, terrorism, incitement, there's no proof anyway. No proof whatsoever. Secondly, Nigeria violated international law. This is the second reason. Nigeria violated international law. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped in Kenya, not extradited through legal process. Under international law, that alone makes the case invalid. The extraordinary rendition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu makes the case invalid. You heard Showore always say it. That one, there was a day Showore was talking on, he said, he doesn't even know why they are going on discuss, say they want to discuss with the federal government. Showore said it time and time again in interview. When all those senior advocates were there talking about starting a case, opening a case, he was saying it, that he doesn't even know why at the first place they are even going to answer them in the court. There was no need, because he has no case. Nothing has been proven. So the second reason is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu kidnapped in Kenya. not extradited through legal process, under international law, that one alone, makes the case invalid. You cannot benefit from your own illegality. Did you hear that? You cannot benefit from your own illegality. But in this case, Nigeria want to benefit from their own illegality. Even when the United Nations have told them, let this man go, gave them 6 months, let him go and pay him compensation, they refuse. They continue to detain him, and they continue to take him to their court, trying to benefit from their own illegality. It has never happened on the planet Earth, and it's not going to happen with Master Nnamdi Kanu. That is why he said, I have no case. The no case is also a moral and political statement. It is also a moral and political statement. This submission is a powerful moral statement, very powerful moral statement. A rejection of a corrupt system that criminalizes freedom fighters while rewarding looters, killers. It is saying to Nigeria and the world, you cannot jail justice. You cannot silence the truth. That is what Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is saying. In a country where they say they radicalize terrorists that have killed thousands and thousands of people, that are still actively taking innocent life, kidnapping, they are radicalizing them and putting them into the military and into the police. They are reaching agreement with them. They go and sit down side by side with terrorists well armed and loaded with arms, and yet they turn back, and a man that is asking for self-determination, they bring him to court to judge him. Based on what? On moral ground, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu has nothing to discuss with Nigerian government. Nothing. Nothing whatsoever. He's not supposed to be there. And number 4, by submitting no case, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu legal team is forcing the judge to choose either strike out the charge or release him. It is a strategic legal pressure. A strategic legal pressure. By submitting no case, Kanu's legal team is forcing the judge to choose either strike out the charge or release him. That is what that move of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu stands for. Or expose Nigerian judiciary further as a tool of oppression. The whole world is watching, remember? The whole world is focused. You know, that is one thing you don't understand. When Mazen Nnamdi Kanu made the first statement and brought out every criminal that is in Nigeria, those criminals that are involved in illegalities in Nigeria, he called everyone and mentioned all their names. And the whole world got it. He took over the media. Every one of them were broadcasting and why they were now, they will never say a thing. When Mazen Nnamdi Kanu talk, they will never ever take it. Until when you hit them in such a diplomatic way, they will not have no choice. They will have no choice than reporting. So as they are reporting it, the international community is watching. International media are following. They are all keying in. And that is exposing Nigeria for what they are. If they don't release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, Nigeria will be exposed to the extent that whenever you call yourself a Nigeria, you have to cover yourself. Even though now, those who call themselves Nigeria should cover themselves in shame. But it's going to get to a state where no country, sensible country, will like to do anything with Nigeria, except countries like Finland that are senseless, that are poor. They are poor that they can be able to exchange their own dignity for crumbs. Only countries like Finland that are poor to the extent that they can exchange their dignity for crumbs. And I have been calling that the European Union should expel Finland from their group for associating themselves with a terrorist government. Finland should be expelled from the European Union, except the European Union does not stand for justice. Except the European Union does not stand for human rights. If European Union stands for human rights and justice, Finland is supposed to be expelled from the European Union for actively exchanging information with a terrorist government and exchanging bribery and corruption with a terrorist government. They should be expelled. with the action that Mazen Nani can have taken, with reasons I just given you, either way, Biafra wins. Through justice, through exposure of injustice. Either way, Biafra wins. That is why when you see Mazen Nani can take a step, he knows what he's doing. He's not ignorant. And we are going to discuss and talk about the merit of the submission. The merit of the submission that Mazen Nani can just made. No case. This move is not emotional. It is strategic, grounded, and powerful. You know, some of them, they think it's an emotional move for you to have. Mazen Nani can have said it time and again. Don't pity me. All I need is justice. Let there be justice, and let it be seen that justice is done. Let there be justice, and let it be seen that justice is done. That's what Mazen Nani said. Just like when he was talking about, he said, don't pity me. I want to be healthy to stand at my trial. That's all I want. I just want to be healthy and face my trial. That's it. So some of you that think it's not emotional. This move is not emotional. It is strategic, grounded, and powerful. And the earlier you understand this, the better for all of us. So now we look into the merits of this very move that Mazen Nani made. We look into the merits. One of the merits of the no case that Mazen Nani entered is lack of evidence. Nigeria has no evidence to all the allegations against Mazen. Remember, they have been changing the charges every time. They change it from 1 to 2 to 3, at least time 14. From 14, it came back to 8. From 8, they raised it to 14. From 14. They've been changing and going round, merry-go-round, playing that kind of video and audio and all. At the end of the day, there is no evidence, lack of evidence. Not a single weapon, not a single violent act tied directly to Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Not a single weapon, not a single violent act tied directly to Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. All they have are words, freedom speeches, radio broadcasts, and truth telling. That is all they have in their court. The only thing they presented against Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was freedom speeches that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu made, radio broadcasts that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu made, and truth telling. That is all they have. Another merit in that very no case is violation of due process. The due process of the court have been violated again and again and again and again and again. In the same court where a judge said that no court in Nigeria has the right, jurisdiction to try Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, you are still there trying him. A place where 3 judges unanimously agree. In the same place where Mazen Nnamdi Kanu have won his case and the court say pay him compensation. At the same time, we saw Mazen Nnamdi Kanu win his case in Kenya. Among these 4 places, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu have won cases, including in United Nations Arbitral Committee in their discussions. Nigeria has never won one, not even one. And yet, they continue to abuse the process. Adjournment, moving from high court to low court, they go to high, they go to low. Violation of due process. From abduction in Kenya to denied or fair trial, every step violated the Nigerian constitution and international human rights law. You see, when we talk about, it's not even just about international law. Nigerian constitution itself is being violated. The violation of the Nigerian constitution. When we say nobody is a Nigerian, some of you think it's a joke. Nobody is a Nigerian. That is why nobody is ready to put his life for Nigeria. Nobody is ready to obey the laws of Nigeria because nobody is a Nigerian. Nobody is ready to obey the law. Nobody is ready to stand for it. Nobody is ready to die for the so-called Nigeria because nobody is a Nigerian. And the earlier you begin to understand this, the better for you, the better for me. So, one of the merits of the no case is violation of due process. Another merit in this very no case that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu entered is double jeopardy and jurisdiction issues. Double jeopardy and jurisdiction issues. You cannot try a man you abducted unlawfully. A man you went and abducted unlawfully. You cannot come back and try the same man. You did not pass through the law. If you want to try a man, you have to pass through the law to bring him. Pass through the law to bring him so that you can pass through the law and judge him. You cannot invade the law to bring him, then you go through the law to try him. No, you don't do that. It's unlawful. It's unlawful. You cannot try a man you abducted unlawfully. The court itself becomes a party to illegality if it proceeds. The court becomes a party to illegality if the case of Mazen Nnamdi proceeds. That is how the whole world see it. That is how the whole world is seeing Nigerian court as it stands. The whole world now is looking at Nigeria, trying to benefit from their own illegality. So, one of the merits is job jeopardy and jurisdiction issues. Another merit of the no case Mazen Nnamdi mentioned is public interest and international concern. Public interest and international concern. With the Free Mazen Nnamdi protest, you saw the mass movement. You saw the attack. In fact, apart from that very movement, go to social media now and you check. Compare those who are saying Free Mazen Nnamdi and those who are saying don't free him. Go and check. Do your census. Get your numbers. Make your inquiries. Go and check. The public opinion today on the case of Mazen Nnamdi. The public opinion today on the Free Mazen Nnamdi is largely on his favor. Public interest and international concern. In public opinion today, largely it's on the favor of Mazen Nnamdi freedom. Largely on the favor. The people who were protesting not Free Mazen Nnamdi, we know that we are paid. These are government agents paid. That is one of the illegalities in Nigeria. When you protest, they will go and sponsor